And we're live, folks. Yeah, so this video is mainly going to be me going over my thoughts and basically reflecting on the last couple of years. Not going to be a super interesting video. If you get something out of this video, then I'm happy. Part one. One. Maybe I'll make okay, cool. Little transition.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So, I mentioned it in a few videos so far, but I took a 2-year break from making videos. You'll probably never see those videos because I took them all down, and they were just like, I can make these better. So, while they're not all totally deleted, they're just, no one will ever see them. So, if you're part of those 2 subscribers that subscribed to me 2 years ago and saw those videos, then why are you still watching me? So I officially started YouTube in 2022. The reason why I started really was because I was looking for videos that weren't so polished. There's a lot of motivational and advice YouTubers out there that give great ideas and advice, but a lot of those videos are almost like away from what people are really facing. They're really helping people. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking any other YouTuber that gives out good advice and advice that can help people. But more like, it almost feels like their videos made to watch rather than implement. I don't have an issue with giving advice, but I feel like it needs to have a little more realistic takes. It can't just be general advice that works. So for example, let's say somebody's giving you advice to say, oh, you want to start on something, like, technically I done that.
You want to start again. You saw the title and you think maybe it's time for me to get started.
But you want to get started on something? Give me an example on how to get started. A lot of times someone would say, you're just letting the moments pass you by. And I know they're saying that to be vague in general, but the problem is it doesn't let anyone have a concrete example on how to do what they're advising. So if you're giving the advice to get started, but how do I get started on filmmaking? Or how do I get started on making a art Instagram and posting my art there? Or how do I get started on traveling? So a lot of the time it was just general and not grounded in examples, I think. And I think that's my biggest criticism. It was almost like made, it was like motivation made to be watched and heard and like as like art rather than concrete advice to implement, if that makes sense. There's a lot of grind set people, guys who are like, yeah, get up, grind. You need to start a bit, especially how much that's taken over YouTube. You want to start a business? Start a business.
Bruh.
And then a lot of like people who talked about stoicism. Don't get me wrong, stoicism was great. If you're talking about it in a philosophical way, then I think stoicism's great. But then it turned into broicism. Oh, you need to stop feeling your feelings. That's what men do. I just started feeling like, this is just advice given to just basically, it started as what do the Stoics teach and Marcus Aurelius and things like that. Shout out to Ryan Holiday. He's kind of the guy who like helped everybody start with the Stoicism stuff. I mean, I'm not saying people didn't independently read his books, but I do think that there's a lot of people who basically would watch the Stoicism trend and videos and then started just giving their own takes on it or advice and just repackaging it in their own kind of way. And it started becoming like broicism in the sense that it just started becoming like this advice to tell men stop, or anyone, I guess, stop feeling your feelings and just be a man. Just power through everything. It just reverts back to that idea of like 90s and 80s and earlier, like you're a man, so don't feel anything, boys don't cry, things like that. If you want to give that advice, give that advice. But I think people are taking the wrong take at Stoicism. I think if you're looking for a person who's going to give you great advice on Stoicism, I highly recommend Ryan Holiday's channel. I think his name's Ryan Holiday. I shouldn't be saying his name this much if I don't know his name. Fuck. I'm not crazy. It is Ryan Holiday. And I am wasting a lot of time. I'm already 10 minutes in. Jeez, I'm going to have to cut out a lot.
Don't know why you think it's getting cut. It's not getting cut.
Secondly, I was looking for a channel that would more understand my kind of problems or give me advice that, relates in a more human aspect. If you're trying to give solutions to someone, or advice, then you want to give them advice that really applies to them. I 100% don't think everyone should be giving advice for every single person. What I mean is, I wasn't finding advice that really applied to me or my life. There are 8 billion people on the planet. I always say this to myself, I always say this to other people, but there's 8 billion people, which means you're not alone in how you feel. If you generally feel something and you don't notice people are talking about it, then you're probably not alone in that thinking. And I highly recommend you talking about it or seeking help or whatever it is that can help you find and solve a problem that you might be facing, and it might be specific to you. We all are in this together, and a lot of us go through similar experiences. Not the same, but similar. So sometimes you could be feeling something or experiencing something, and someone across the world could be experiencing that exact same thing, and you never know. Now, the reason why I stopped due to unforeseen circumstances in my life, and while I'm not going to be really specific about what I went through or anything like that, basically the most important thing that had stopped me was my really bad mental state. And maybe that's an excuse. Shout out to Stoicism. But maybe that's an excuse. But yeah, that was my excuse. And while it's not a good excuse, generally you could just chalk it up to me not being in it to really push something that I couldn't really put myself into. I really, really believe that if you're going to do something, you have to do it with passion. And if you're not doing it with passion, then you shouldn't be doing it. But hey, some people are going to do it anyway. Some people treat it like a job. And yeah, that's the main reason. So what did I learn? I think I learned a few things during that time. Wait, let me do this right. After taking time to reassess things, I learned a lot about work ethic, flow, self-confidence, and one really powerful secret that changed everything. I will tell you that I learned... Yeah, I didn't learn anything.
Is this nigga serious?
The videos I'm making now are more the videos I want to make, so that's really it. I just didn't really have the editing skills to make the videos I want to make now, so that's really it. I didn't really learn much. I wanted to make these videos 2 years ago. I just did it. So, yeah, now I'm making videos again. Part 2. Probably no one's gonna watch this, why am I doing all this? Why am I doing all this? At this point, he's doing it to himself. So here's my plan for 2025. First is making videos. I just want to keep with it. So that is the plan. I want to improve the visual aspect of the videos I make, because while it is nice for you guys to be staring at my ugly mug,
sensational,
it's not exactly the most interesting thing to watch. So yeah. The way I consume videos on YouTube is I tend to watch videos and consume them, kind of like turn them on and consume them in the background while I do other things. Like I write and I work and I do other things. So I understand that not everybody's here to like watch the video directly, but I understand.
I beg your pardon.
But
I beg your pardon.
But I also understand if you want to watch videos, especially when I do watch videos, I'm not gonna be watching some person just stare at me into my soul and be like, so you need to fix your life. Here's how you fix your life. I just want to make it more engaging, even as a visual medium. The next thing I want to do in my video making for the next year is just improve a little bit. I think primarily my speaking ability needs to just be more concise and clear. I think I need to get to the point. Obviously removing things like ums and ahs. So yeah, so like removing that stuff from my videos tends to help them flow better and make them a little bit easier to listen to, especially if it doesn't feel like it's dragging. Maybe scripting is the way I need to go, but I generally don't like to follow scripts too much because it can tend to sound like I'm reading or not really naturally speaking. I like the natural speaking vibe a lot better, so I think I just need to get better and a lot more time and effort into speaking clearly and to a point. One more thing I want to improve about my video making is going to be the editing itself, because while I don't mind like meticulously choosing edits and getting to the point where my video feels correct, I don't like how long it takes me to implement an edit. So for example, I might want to do something. The problem is implementing and figuring out how to do it is the hard part. That's usually the part that wastes a lot of time and slows things down immensely. I don't mind if editing takes me a while. That's okay. I like things coming together and it looking nice and being good, but I just need it to be a little bit faster than where it is, because sometimes like trying to find out how to edit something the way I want to is kind of mentally draining. And truly, I do understand why people don't want to hire an editor. It's because you want things done a certain way and an editor won't see your vision. So I do understand that. Oh, there's a way I can smoothen that experience, make it a lot smoother. I like this skateboard.
I like to skateboard.
I don't know. You guys don't get the reference, but anyway.
I like to skateboard.
One more thing is I want to work on a couple of video essays that I plan to make. There's things I want to talk about. I've been dying to talk about for a long time, 4 years, 5 years before I even ever made videos. Like I have the want, and I know there's stuff I want to talk about, but I need to figure out what to say. Last thing I want to mention about 2025. This video is about 2025, remember that. I'm not a full-time content creator, so if you are watching this and you are like having high expectations or something, please don't remove any expectations you have. I don't have like time frames or anything planned out. I'm not a full-time YouTuber, so I don't plan on having anything out by certain dates or anything like that. My main thing about video making is that it is art, so you should have passion in what you do and not just do it just to do it. I really dislike that YouTube's turned into copy other people, become successful. Like the whole idea of just trying to grind to be rich off of YouTube it's cringe to me, I'm not gonna lie. I go on a rant about this. Actually, matter of fact, I will. I just want to say that the commodification of industry tends to drain the creative individual in quite deleterious manners, which further exasperates the nature.
Oh my god.
Point is, I really think that if something doesn't have passion behind it, then it shouldn't be worth doing. You shouldn't just be doing it just to do it for a job. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can do things for a job, but just at least have the passion. Put some effort into it. That's all I see, because a lot of times I see a lot of people repackaging the same advice or stealing ideas from other people. No, I guess, inspired by other people, but really, we all know. It just doesn't feel like you're actually putting your heart and soul into something. I should see fucking blood, sweat, and tears. I just dislike the ethic of doing things for money and no real other purpose other than making money and giving the generic advice to people without do you even care? I don't know. It feels like people just don't really care. But hey, you know what? I'm not rich. It's probably why I'm not rich, okay?
Okay.
Sorry. Most people, we all know this. Most people are lazy. Even I'm lazy. Most of the time, I don't put in my full 1000% effort where I'm drained at the end of something. Now, should you be drained? No, but should you be working yourself hoarse every single time? No. But at the same time, you should just be putting your best foot forward. If you don't put your best foot forward, then yeah, why did you make it? Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. Let me get off my rant. This is all just to say, possibly more videos soon. Who knows? Now, transition time.
What?
In conclusion, I kind of lost the last 2 years. There really isn't an excuse. I wish I made videos the whole time, to be honest, but I'm here now. Actually, if you think about it, that applies to everything. If you're waiting to... Wait. If you're waiting to do anything and haven't done it, like YouTube perhaps, the time will pass anyway. So what are you waiting for? Ask yourself in 2 years. Do you wish you started right now? Because I bet your 2 years in the future self would be telling you, start now. I'm thankful to anyone who watched and people who subscribed to me, all 10 of you. I don't know why you subscribed, but I'm still appreciative of anyone who might want to watch me flail around on YouTube now, or from 2 years ago, or from 2 years in the future. I promise I will try to make stuff worth watching for the duration of however long you're with me. My ending message to anyone listening is just to work on what makes you happy. At this point, we tend to think life will go on forever. We tend to take tomorrow for granted, so do something meaningful to you. As fun as it is just to consume stuff, video games, movies, TV, TikTok videos, even just random BS that we could buy, do stuff that you will be proud of, not just satiates you for the time being. Always keep in the back of your mind that life is short. I encourage you, if there's a trip you always wanted to take, or an idea you want to share with the world, or that special someone you've been waiting to ask out, just do it. Don't worry about the consequences, because the reality is you won't be here one day. Share yourself with the world. That's the value of humanity. So yeah. What am I doing?